I want to talk about me. I want to talk about the times I was a little kid and maybe the times I was on the iron grid. I want to talk about the times I was hurt and confused. I want to talk about the times to which I was abused. Or maybe the times I felt like $1,000,000 because those times are far in between and few. I want to talk about the woman that birthed me and why I refuse to call this woman mom. I want to talk about my son. I want to talk about how my father is the greatest man that I have ever known. I want to tell you about how I've seen more dead bodies than I have seen years on this earth. There's so much that I want to tell you, but then I begin to feel like a woman whose heart has been severely broken. I start to feel like a man whose pride has been shattered and drained from his strength, like when she shaved Samson's mane. And because I get this way, instead of trying to converse about the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, I put a smile on my face and my guard is raised. I'll blow you kisses from my wrist so you know that my love for you will never die in vain. What's the point? I find myself asking this question a lot, and the only logical answer I can find is because the sky is blue. Let me paint a picture for you with my words because I have never been very good with the paintbrushes. I want to talk about how you are the water that feeds the seed to my soul, yet you're simultaneously this black hole that I'm just never able to fill. I want to talk about how I want to overlook this black hole so much that I just start thinking about forever way too soon, because the way that my life is going right now, I'm just a rusty fork that's trying to eat like the silver spoon. Word to lemon. See, I don't get on the stage for you to hear me talk because you have never been here to listen. I get on this stage and I look down in the preparatory manner to see if I am ready to spread my wings and take that leap of faith. And the only thing that I can think of as the stature to which you are held in my mind is nothing short of pulchritudinous. Safe to say and easy for me to admit that a wandering mind is my biggest flaw. Even when I wind up someplace beautiful with you, I find myself thinking about you way more than I deserve. Me being head over heels and desperately in love, or you still having no idea. I'm still debating on which one is worse. Hurt people, hurt people. Say it again. Hurt people, hurt people. I don't want to be remembered as that hurtful person who hurt people, because no one will ever see that you are hurt. So they'll forever label you as evil, and then you find that one that has you jumping through flamed hoops like Knievel, and as much as you try to prove yourself, they will never believe you because they too are hurt. Even though they may have influence and awaken the hurt in you, you were willing to change and love them while they never noticed that them being hurt was ultimately hurting you. See, there is a difference between talking and speaking. There's a difference between being a leader and actually leading, a difference between having a purpose and having a reason, a difference between having faith and just believing. There's a difference between being afraid and having fear, and sometimes the best way to talk is with your ears, and sometimes the best way to see is through the magnification of your own tears, and sometimes the best way to be heard is to remain completely silent for everybody to hear. See, the idiocracy ideology between what is and what ought to be has left me dumbfounded, because the more immoral we behave, the more we are viewed as being well-rounded. She said, you have such a way with words. Well, I'm thinking I would rather have a way to her, but her love seems to only cater to jerks. She catches him cheating. He apologizes with a smirk because he knows she ain't leaving. His mouth says, I'm sorry. His eyes, they are deceiving. See, the pages in my pad are like the days of my life. One side's the day and the other side's the night. The ink that helps me write is like the blood that helps feed my life. The pages I've written on, that's my past. The pages I'm writing on now is the weight on my back. The blank pages to come is like the path ahead of me, so I literally make my own path as soon as my pen starts to bleed. I find you pathetic and weak. It's okay because somebody probably thinks the same about me. The only difference is you actually care what I think. Well, there's nobody's thoughts will ever hurt me. See, you ain't shit. Hell, I ain't shit. The difference between us is you refuse to admit it, so you can miss me with all that high horse self-righteousness because you being mad about me is only bringing you lifelessness. Stay mad. I think that we as men need to make a better effort to respect our women. I think that love is extraordinary and therefore should never be limited. I think that we say, do you. But if you do you, and it's different from them doing them, they feel they have the right to criticize and belittle those that actually do themselves. I think you're the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. I think that you would complete me. I think you would take care of me in ways I never knew care could be provided. I think that I love you, but I am just a poet, so which one of you would actually give a fuck about what I think? It's a cold and lonely world for a person like me who wears a heart in their sleeves and the feelings that others harbor for me. Please understand, it means very little to the interest of my being. I will pursue a better life until there's no more that I can there's no more that I can flourish, even if this means living an entire life malnourished. Understand that you could be anything on this earth except for my downfall. Let's get a round of applause to those of you handling your biz, tending to your wife and kids. Remember, if God brought you to it, then he will bring you through it. Even if you're scraping the bottom of the rock with a loaded 40 Glock playing this game and you're ready to lose it. Never consider your failures failures. Consider them all lessons learned. Farewell, my friends, because this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.